All right, hello and welcome. This is going to be our homework help video for the homework titled Compound Inequalities. Just the one side for this one. Let's jump right on into it with problem number 1. Solve each compound inequality and graph its solution. What I want to do with any compound inequality is just deal with the two halves separately. So I'm going to copy it down below here. In order to solve the first half of this inequality, I need to get the variable by itself on the left side of the inequality symbol. To do that, we just add 4 to both sides. Now I've got n is less than -2. Now we'll deal with the other half. -2n is less than -14. We'll divide both sides by -2. And we get that n is greater than 7. Now it's time to graph these on my number line. When I've got n is less than -2, I kind of ignore that symbol for 1 second. I go to -2 on my number line and I just draw a dot. Then I ask myself, should I fill this in? Well, it doesn't have the or equal to, so I'm going to leave it open. Then I ask myself which direction to draw this arrow. This arrow is pointing to the left, so I want to go to the left. Let's check it with a value. I'll check it with -4. Is -4 less than -2? Yep, that checks out. Our arrow is pointing in the right direction. Other one, dot at 7, leave it open. Arrow going to the right. Check it with a number. Let's pick 10 because 10 is on our arrow. 10 is greater than 7. Checks out. Now, or problems are pretty much always going to lead to a situation like this, a number line with a gap. And the reason for this is that we can be on either of these lines, so they both count as solutions. That's like the definition of the word or. Now, if these were overlapping, that would be okay. You're not going to see it very often, but that would just mean that our entire number line is on the graph. It means that our solutions are all real numbers, because if it's an or problem and our two arrows overlap, that means that every single number is going to be on at least one of those two arrows. But you don't see that very often. Let's do an and problem. I didn't point it out here, but when I divided by a negative, I did flip the direction of that inequality. Let's do number 4 since it's an and problem. Copy down the first half. Solve it by dividing both sides by 10. 10 is a positive number, so I don't need to flip my inequality. K is less than or equal to 4. Copy down the second half, -6 plus k greater than or equal to -10. Add 6 to both sides, k greater than or equal to -4. Now here, let's go ahead and graph this. K less than or equal to 4. I put a dot at 4. Then I ask myself, should I fill it in? I should fill it in. Which way is my arrow going? My arrow is going this way, but I don't finish the arrow yet. I just sort of get it going in the right direction. Then I jump over to this one. Dot at -4, do I fill it in? Yes, I do. Arrow going this direction. The reason I didn't finish this arrow is because you can see this arrow keeps moving this way, this arrow keeps moving this way. They're going to join up and form a line segment. The line segment is all we want to keep. For and problems, we always just want the overlap of the two arrows, because in order to be a solution, you need to be on both of the arrows at the same time. And this is the only region where they overlap. Notice if two arrows don't overlap, for example, if this inequality had its arrow going off to the right, this one had it going off to the left, and there's no overlap, then our solution is no solution, because we only want the overlap with and problems. With or problems, we want everything, overlap and where there's only just one arrow. That's fine. Let's just do one more problem. Let's see. I'll do number 8, just picking at random here. I'm going to copy down my inequalities. And just copy down both of them. To solve these, I need to get my like terms together, and I want them to be on the left-hand side. Makes it easier to graph. So let me add 5n to both sides here. 4 plus 14n is greater than or equal to -10. Subtract 4, subtract 4. 14n is greater than or equal to negative 14. Divide by 14. Divide by 14. Doesn't flip here because I'm dividing by a number that's positive. The bottom of the fraction is positive. That's what matters. So n greater than or equal to negative 1. We'll overdo this one. Again, I want to move the variables to the left, constants to the right. So I'll add 9n to both sides. Negative 9 plus 6n less than or equal to 9. Add 9, add 9. 6n less than or equal to 18. Divide by 6, divide by 6. N less than or equal to 3. So for this one, dot at negative 1. Fill it in. Arrow coming this way. This one, dot at 3. Fill it in. Arrow coming this way. They intersect. We just keep the overlap because it's an and problem. All right, I think that's good for this homework. Hopefully that's enough to get you started. Have a good rest of your day.